I've just launched Jupyter Notebooks with the same directory or the folder which we are working with respect to Matplotlib and also NumPy. So let us go ahead and create a new Python file and let us name it as Pandas itself. Okay, so Pandas. So it will be saved up, and in the next video we'll be working on a CSV file. So I'll just get the file over here in this folder, and we'll be importing that. So before that, like again, installing Pandas is very straightforward, similar to how we had done before. So let me just go ahead and launch a Jupyter notebook. Sorry, launch a command prompt. So we can launch a command prompt like this and pip install. So again, I'm using our uh, general environment. Okay, so the base environment. Okay, so for installation it is just direct forward, straightforward using the pandas itself. So it is telling requirement already satisfied. So it is already installed in my host PC. So again, if just in case if it is not installed, if you are not able to import it, go ahead and install that by using the pip install pandas. So let us import pandas. So again, similarly, NumPy we had imported as like NP and also Matplotlib pyplot as PLT, like a short for plot. So for pandas also we shall do the same. So it is again followed by most of the programmers. So pandas as PD. Okay. So let us go ahead and execute that. So our pandas is successfully installed. Okay. So let us now do some kind of series. Okay. So we will create series. Let me just type that correctly. Okay. So series. Uh, okay. So what we can do is maybe we can create a list. So I'll create something like my list. So here list I can give some kind of integers. Okay. So maybe we'll go with general 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So list of 5 variable. Let me just execute that. Okay. And now let us create a series. Okay. So let me call as int series. So my int series now will be using our pandas dot series. Okay. So if you wanna know the documentation, you can go just shift tab and you can maximize this and understand what exactly is pandas series. So it is just creating a one-dimensional series. Again, it will be like giving labels. So we'll print out what exactly this is. So we'll understand what how exactly it is stored inside this our variable int series. So we are creating a series. Like note that again, capital S. So here we'll pass our my list. Okay, we'll go and execute that. So hope we don't have any typos. Okay, so again, let me just simply print out in series. Okay, so here you can see it is like giving some kind of values. So these are like kind of index. So again, two-dimensional we had seen an example like in the previous video, right? So when we saw looked into the pandas documentation over there, we saw like uh, column names and row labels. Okay, so again basically namings of it. So this is one dimensional, so that's why it is indexed from 0 to 4. Okay, again this is like kind of a keys in dictionary, so you can consider that also. Again let us print out the what exactly type of the int series. Okay, so let me just grab this and give as type of int series. So it is telling pandas core.series.series. Okay, so basically pandas again, if you just go and check out the source code of it, so you will understand better. So basically under pandas there is some core, and under that series, and the series is the method what we are using. Okay, so maybe this series is nothing but an object. So again we need not to create object, we can directly use it as it is. Okay, so that is one way. So the other one what I wanted to show is string series. So str series, make sure you are not using any keywords. Okay, so if I'm using str, it is highlighting, so telling me it is one of the keyword in Python. Okay, so again there can be the Python in sorry, keywords in particular packages or libraries also. Again that doesn't affect much if you are installing something in this. Okay, so you have installed like you are importing in this way, not installing. So when you are importing like this, you are addressing with respect to that object. So like PD is the object what we are importing, or the package naming. Okay, So if at all you have done from pandas import star, at that time you can directly use series, so that will become one of the keywords, like kind of applications which you should not use for the other name. So it is always best to import in this format. Okay, so let us continue. As I was telling, we can create a some kind of name. Okay, so maybe sorry, this should be a tuple. Okay, so we saw about list, right? So here we'll create a tuple. So maybe okay, I'll create the tuple here itself. So I'll call it as pd dot series. Okay, so inside this only we'll create the tuple. So again, you can declare it here itself, or you can create a variable and just pass in the variable name. Okay, so basically that variable will be holding your tuple. So what we can give kind of maybe Python itself. Okay, so we have Python over here. So that will be added to our string series. Okay, so let us just check what exactly is present in this. So shift enter to execute. So here you can see again p y thon is indexed with respect to 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so those are nothing but the labels, or you can tell us the names given to that particular rows. Okay, so here we don't have any column, so basically we have only one column and a single row, or it's actually one dimensional, so you need not to consider a row and column also. Okay, so now similarly we can create data ranges. Okay, sorry, date ranges. Okay, so maybe you want to create a date series, so let us do that. Date series. So again, pandas give us a kind of a function method known as date range. Okay, so date range. So you can shift tab to see what exactly it is with respect to this. So here maybe small description. Returns a fixed frequency date time next. Okay, so maybe it will give us the format, exact format what has to be given. So you can see the parameters that need to be sent, like with respect to start, end, periods, frequency, tz, normalize. So we'll be using just the start and end functions. Okay, so again we can have like kind of very small. So I'll give start will be equal to, again let us go with the format. So maybe I'll go with month first. Okay, so again refer documentation to know about the format and all. Okay, so maybe I'll give 0 1 0 1 2022, and maybe end I'll have the similar kind of date, maybe 3 or 4 days. So again, I don't want my series to be very big, right? So maybe I'll just make it this as 4. Okay, so let us just go ahead and execute that. So let us check what exactly is our date series now. Okay, so here you can see our date time index is created, and also you can see it is created in a particular format, like year, then comes month, then comes date. Okay, so again it is telling the type also over here. So again we can print out the type. So type of date series. So again it is not exactly this is like d type what is telling with respect to the data present in it, but what exactly is our date series is actually indexes date types, date time index. Okay, so that is how you can create a date series. Okay, so again similarly you can create maybe you can fetch individual characters. So again we have not fetched anyone, right? So maybe we'll go back here itself. Maybe I can create a cell below. So I forgot the shortcut for cell below. Insert here, above, no, below. Okay, so I think it's kind of shift or escape B. Yeah, it's escape B. Okay, so in series, so let me get one of the values with respect to index, maybe 4. So let us execute that. So it is telling this is the index. Okay, remember, not on the right hand side, so on the left hand side you have the index and this is the value. So that is how it is printing, and similarly you can have it here also. So maybe I'll call the third character. Okay, so again it is 0 1 2 3. Okay, so basically it is the fourth letter, but the third character. Okay, The fourth letter if you are considering with respect to the first letter, second letter. Okay, but indexing starts from 0, so you can consider the 0 as the index over here. So at that scenario, you got it. And similarly, date series, again, in date series, you can find many things like date series, dot year, dot month, dot again with respect to particular month name, you can pass in. So month underscore name, okay, and also with respect to day, again day name also, and day of the year. So all this you can do. Okay, so I have, like previously I was experimenting few of it. So here I have a format which is again printing out few values. So you can go ahead and check that. So let me just execute that. Here it is telling like 2022, 2022. That is what I have executed right here with respect to the date series. You can fetch the year. Okay, similarly month, month name, and all you can fetch. Okay, so which month? So as I was telling month, if you're giving month, the difference is that it will tell which month with respect to the numbering. Okay, so that is one. So again, if you just make it as month underscore name, and note that this should be passed as a function, and it will be January. Okay, so if you don't pass it as a function, you will get an error. So look up documentation to understand it better. Okay, so basically, so there are a few particular methods which you need to pass it as a function itself, because it can have any kind of parameters in it. Okay, so similarly you can fetch the day of the year. So which exactly is the day of the year? So let me just go and get that. And also here what I'm doing is, if I'm printing multiple things, I'm having a separator, and the end, at the very end, I'm giving 2 extra blank spaces, or 2 not blank spaces, blank lines. So going to the next line. Okay, so let me just go ahead and execute that. So it will tell which day of the month it is. So it's like 0, 1, 2, 3. So we are doing the same thing. So maybe I'll just manipulate the date over here. So maybe let me just start. Maybe I'll manipulate the month. Okay, so the day of the year should change, right? So let us go ahead and check. So it is the 32nd date, and 33rd, 34th, 35th. Again, it starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Not the indexing 0. Okay, so here it was February. You can just check that it is February. So even if you run this, it is 2. And here obviously it doesn't change since the year is 2022 itself. So that is what we have done till now. So is there anything else? Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to tell is, here we have an index to 0 to 5, right? So you can have your own index. Okay, so for example, let me create another int series itself. Maybe I'll call it as integer series. So this will be equal to panda dot series. So here let us send in our same list. Okay, so that was my list, so which has the characters from the integers from 1 to 5, and here I can tell what exactly will be my index. Okay, so even that I can specify with respect to maybe I don't want to start with 0, maybe after 100 I need. So maybe I'll start with 101, maybe 101, 102. You can have spacings. So formatting is always a good idea, so that your code looks more like kind of symmetric. Okay, so 105. So 5 index we had. So 5 index. So let us just go ahead and execute that and check what is our integer series. So you can see the index is changed, and also you can get the with respect to index itself. So you can see it is like 103 is fetching 3. Okay, so index can be named. And also you don't need to write like this. Okay, so maybe you can write range function. I hope everyone is again familiar with range function. We have done with respect to loops, right? So range of we need from 101 up to 105. So it should be 106. 106 will not be included. So you can run that. Again, if you run, it is the same thing. Okay, so differentiate, maybe I'll make it as 201 to 206. Okay, you can see it is like 201 to 205 it is done. Okay, so that is with respect to series frames. So again, in the next video we'll be going with respect to data frames. Okay, so 2-dimensional we can declare here itself with respect to like kind of it is more like a dictionary format. Okay, so basically not dictionary format itself, you can just pass in dictionary and that becomes a 2-dimension. So maybe we'll create dictionaries and pass in that, and also we'll import a .csv file. So mostly in our projects we'll be working on .csv file itself. So we'll be doing that. So that's all for this video.